Welcome back to another video, guys. Today I'll be taking a review at my most anticipated movies of 2023 video that I did in the past early in the year. Starting off with Wonka, which I didn't watch as it's not out yet. It's coming out in December 16th, I believe. And to be very honest with you, I might not watch it because that seems like a kid's movie to be honest. I think it is, and I'm not gonna watch it, but I might give it a try just for the sake of entertainment. And Timothy Chalamet might just carry, so I don't doubt that the acting is gonna be good in the movie as well. Next is The Flash, and just yikes, that was a terrible movie, kind of. I mean, I enjoyed it, but there's a difference between enjoyment and something that is good. The writing was kind of shaky and bad slash decent. I feel like it also, baited people with nostalgia and Michael Keaton and the multiverse as a whole, all those cameos that were kind of pointless. And I mean, if you were going to do that, which I don't really mind, it's a multiversal movie. You could have at least included Grant Gustin as his own iteration of the Flash from the CW TV show, and they didn't even do that. And that was just right about when the Flash was ending up as a show. So that's another L on their part. So yeah, this movie was not the best. I kind of enjoyed it. It was also kind of forgettable and literally pointless as the DCU is going through a reboot right now. So there's kind of no point. Next up is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. W movie. I enjoyed it. It was good. It was actually good. An actually good superhero movie in 2023. So yeah, I enjoyed it. It was good. The animators are like the real goats of this because without them, and of course without the writers and the producers, nothing will be possible with the movie. But the animators are the ones that made it so crisp and clear and are the reasons why you like the animations and how different every single character is animated in a movie sometimes. So it's to their credit. And yeah, I have nothing more to say about it. It was good. I recommend that you watch it. And yeah, that was a W movie. Next is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I don't know what to say about this movie. I mean, again, same thing. I enjoyed it. I think the comedy was a little bit overdone at certain parts of it. And again, I mean, this is why you can trust James Gunn because he is different and unique. And it's not the same movie every single time. And he has something to actually include in each movie that he releases. It's something different and new, kind of. And I think Adam Warlock was a little bit underutilized in this movie, but everything else about it is good, and it's a good ending to the Guardians as a team, basically. Next up is Shazam: Fury of the Gods. This was also a garbage movie, worse than The Flash. The writing was bad. Yeah, it was kind of just cringe as well. And I think there was this whole drama thing with Zachary Levi, actor for the older Shazam, defending the movie's poor performance in the box office and stuff like that. But yeah, this was just a bad movie and forgettable. I don't really remember the plot of it, and I do only because I'm really thinking about it. But like, it's just not a standout movie at all. So yeah. Next up is Oppenheimer. This was a good movie, very well written, and Christopher Nolan, of course, W man, W director as well, and Cillian Murphy. The cast was just so stacked, and each of them did their part. It's like when you have a school project and everyone actually does their share of the work, and each person is actually just as equally important to the overall project as the next person. It's not as if you have one main leader of the project and then the other person who can do their work, but it's not important. So everyone on this movie's cast and on this movie's production as a whole carried, and it was a very good movie. Very long though, but yeah, very good and worth it. Next up is John Wick Chapter 4. I recently heard that they're going to be, John Wick Chapter 5 is in production. I don't know where they're going with that. I also don't know how the ending of John Wick Chapter 4 impact the upcoming movie Ballerina with Anna de Armas. But yeah, this was a very enjoyable movie. Just action. Again, don't come to a John Wick movie expecting good writing or best writing because you're just gonna see a bunch of yeah from Keanu Reeves, and that's about it. So come to enjoy it for the action and the killing in it, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, that's all I can say about it. Next up is Teen Wolf the movie. I did not watch this movie. I have a thing where I don't really watch movies that are rated poorly on like IMDb, Metacritic, and Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know, of course, you can't really trust these critics' websites, not all the time, but to me, you can kind of gauge just how good of a movie something is, or a TV show by looking at these critics' websites. And if Rotten Tomatoes, Metacritic, and IMDb are all saying that this movie is garbage, then the movie is most likely garbage. It's kind of like The Flash. I mean, The Flash has a 79% Rotten Tomatoes critic score on Rotten Tomatoes and like a very low audience score. And then it also has like a decent rating on IMDb. But if you go on the episode guide, every single episode after season 6 has just been rated poorly. So you can get a fair sense of what you're getting into if you go on these websites. So I encourage you to do that. And yeah, I'm not gonna watch this movie. I saw like a 6.1 on IMDb, and it's looking like it was a bunch of nothing and just unnecessary. So yeah. Next up, I watched The Equalizer 3. Kind of forgettable as a movie. Not quite as enjoyable as John Wick Chapter 4 was. This movie is more centered around writing as it is action, and I think it's the least action-packed of the three movies. And I mean, if we're going to compare, John Wick Chapter 4 is better than Equalizer 3. Yeah, I didn't really enjoy this movie that much, and I would say it's not that good. But yeah, finally on the list is Blue Beetle. This is like the better of the DC movies that were released this year, I'm pretty sure. But I don't think I enjoyed it as much as The Flash, or I enjoyed it just as much. And Joel Reno was good in the cast as Blue Beetle, and the writing was okay. I saw this comparison online to like Ant-Man or another movie where it's basically the exact same plot, just with Spanish actors, I guess. And yeah, I don't know how to really refute that because it's kind of just a remake of other movies that have already been released. So it's not the best movie, but it's kind of enjoyable. And it's fun. And I think if this had come out before The Flash, before Shazam, Fury of the Gods, before a lot of the DC movies that were released last year, this would have done a lot better than it did right now because of the reputation of DC as a whole. So yeah, that's about it. Some W's on this list, some L's. Yeah, leave a comment down below what you thought about each movie. Peace.